Newly MAGA fanatic MIA is trying to destroy Kid Cudi's life and take everything from him after an incident between the two last month. MIA was kicked off Kid Cudi's tour last month for doing things that they already warned her not to do and pissing off all the fans and getting booed. Before we get this video started, if you want to learn how I made $142,000 from YouTube this month, join my community by clicking the link in the description. That's where I give you guys all the tools to grow on YouTube and make money, as well as offer you guys the opportunity to make videos with me, to do joint videos, joint reactions that get posted on both of our channels. I also promote your videos on my social media pages. Don't you want to work with me? Like, click the link in my description to join my community. Let's get started. Let's grind. Let's make money together. The videos that came out was really grainy. So MIA took to Twitter to give a transcript of exactly what she said and why the fans were booing. So she says, this is the complete transcript of her actual words. She says, "I've been canceled for many things. I never thought I'd be canceled for being a Republican." You didn't get canceled for being a Republican. You got canceled for endorsing Trump, for being like stomp down MAGA, ride or die. That's why you got canceled. Vote American. So I've come to meet you all in person. This is an allow me to reintroduce myself tour. We can do one more song. So again, I think Kid Cudi instructed her, hey, nothing controversial, nothing politic, no political stuff. Just do your songs and leave, bruh. But she brought up politics. So that initially pissed off everybody that was behind the scenes. So she says, we can do one more song. So she plays Born Free. The DJ plays Born Free, and she says, we're not gonna do Born Free. Then the DJ plays The Noise, or plays Bring the Noise, and then she says, we're not gonna do Bring the Noise either. The DJ plays Illegal, and she says, we can't do Illegal, though some of you could be in the audience. This is for Mexico. This is called Tequila. Essentially calling Mexicans in the audience illegal, or some Mexicans illegal, which is, which pissed off people. And she write, all right, I'm illegal. Half of my team are not here because they didn't get the visa, okay? I want you to know that, all right? Those are two drastically different things, okay? Okay, since once you're this, you're always that. Then she plays Illegal after Kid Cudi and their team instructed her that that song was not allowed to be played. Because obviously she's, again, a MAGA Republican now. So her song Illegal obviously takes on a different meaning. I think the original meaning behind that song was her speaking up for people in Gaza being called illegal. Now she's, now her being like a diehard Trumper, and she's anti-illegal immigration all of a sudden. They just don't want her to play the song, like, just in case it could be misinterpreted as an attack on illegal people in this climate. When this went viral and the story of Kid Cudi being unhappy at her, boy, MAGA got on Kid Cudi, man. Kid Cudi is irrelevant now. Long live MIA. She's based. Well, he's a big loser, so it was to be expected. MAGA was really upset that Kid Cudi did not allow, I guess, MIA to speak out against illegal immigration and give Trump an endorsement on his tour because he didn't want no parts of her politics. So Kid Cudi was obviously very upset at this. So he ultimately fired her. Well, not fired her, but he kicked her off tour. So Kid Cudi would release a statement and he would say, MIA is no longer on this tour. I told my management to send a notice to her team before we started tour that I didn't want anything offensive at my shows because I already knew what time it was. And I was assured things were understood. After the last couple of shows, I've been flooded with messages from fans that were upset by her rants. This to me is very disappointing, and I want to have someone on my tour, and I won't have someone on my tour making offensive remarks that upsets my fan base. Thank you for understanding. People were calling Kid Cudi a sellout, saying Kid Cudi is irrelevant. How could he? Well, if he's irrelevant, then why is she on his tour? But again, logic don't matter to these people, okay? They were saying Kid Cudi is this, he's that, he's everything under the sun because he told MIA he doesn't want any politics and he kicked her off the tour for being controversial. I, for one, understands, okay, why Kid Cudi don't want to associate with MAGA. Like, for God's sakes, bruh. How much worse can it get? This is 2026, bro. Right? MAGA blew up a school of little girls in it, murdered them, hundreds of them. And they came and said, Eeps, it's the price of war. Right? It's the price of war. You can't avoid it. Huh? This man made the IRS sign an agreement to never audit him or his family again. So the level of corruption, the level of sinisterness and evilness has obviously reached a point where somebody don't want to associate that with their brand. You respect it, especially when you're at a Kid Cudi show and you look at a bunch of Hispanics in the audience and you're calling them illegal and you're saying you are a brown Republican. It's not going to bode over well, and he has every right to tell you not to do these things. Well, MIA apparently didn't think so, okay? Because MIA have sued Kid Cudi for everything. She claims, or rather, Kid Cudi removing her from the tour for, I guess, expressing her like political opinions is a violation of her rights. So she has currently sued Kid Cudi, and she went on a podcast to explain why she sued Kid Cudi.
Let's clear the air. Let's clear the air.
You two were, I think, kin in this blog era that I was talking about for the Kid Cudi tour.
So we're just going to jump straight into it.
Yeah,
then.
why not?
I just figured
right?
let's clear the air. Let's clear the air.
You two were, I think, kin in this blog era that I was talking about, came up around the same scenes, around the same time. And it seemed like it was going to be this great moment of coming together for perhaps a new generation of fan. You were fired from the tour after what Cudi called some complaints from his fans about your between song banter.
Being MIA.
Have you spoken to Kid Cudi?
No.
And do you think you will?
He didn't even speak to me about it. He never talked to me. He never called out.
Are you open to that conversation?
He didn't call my management. He didn't call me. He didn't talk to the crew. And I even made an effort to go to talk to him, and he didn't see me, and yeah, it was kind of like crazy. And then my son is like, hey, I heard you're not on the tour. And I'm like waking up the next morning.
That's how you found out.
That's how I found out, like from a different state. My son called me from school.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't find that especially egregious. Like, this man has a team. His team was the one who initially sent over the memo to let you guys know, hey, don't do nothing controversial. Some people don't like confrontation. Some people, kind of want their team to handle things, right? And if his team reached out beforehand and said, hey, this is what she should not do, and she still did it, then it's his team who reached out and said, hey, she's off the tour. I don't see, like, what you're looking for Kid Cudi for, right? Like, Kid Cudi probably don't like confrontation. He's probably an like awkward person, right? It's not your place to force him into this awkward conversation he doesn't want to have. He set his boundaries. You violated his boundaries. And now he's saying, I don't want to work with you. And that's his right. And I don't feel like he did anything wrong to be sued.
And he's like, oh, I guess you're coming home. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he sent me the post.
Wow.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about what was happening on that tour in the lead up to the moment that went viral?
Honestly speaking, I don't know, because I have a song called Illegal.
Sure.
On the Maya record.
Yeah.
The first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. Like, I always talk about it,
About immigration.
About immigration.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like that Paper Planes is like talking about it. And I'm in a country where everyone's a freaking immigrant, honestly, But I don't know. I think that Cudi fans didn't know my songs. Illegal is one of my favorite songs, just because the pace of it, and it puts me somewhere. So I was like, oh, we can't do that, but we can do Tequila. And then I played Tequila. But I think people thought we can't do illegals. And I said, some of you might be, but the whole song's chorus saying, I'm illegal.
Can't do illegal. There's some of you could be in the audience.
I want to get back to the moment itself, though, when you make a sort of glib comment about we can't play illegal. The crowd reacts from the videos we've seen, the fan shot videos. Crowd immediately starts booing. And I think in part that comes from, whether right or wrong, some baggage that they have. Maybe they don't know the songs, but maybe they know your reputation. And part of your reputation in recent months and years has been support for the current administration, saying, you know,
it's not really.
I just want to get to the perception of it, which I think is that if people think that you are pro-Trump or pro-RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr., his health secretary, you know.
Let's not forget he was a Democrat, by the way.
Both of them at some point.
They both were.
Yeah.
Political affiliation is more slippery than ever these days.
And certainly once that moment made its way to the internet and people are seeing you have this interaction with the crowd that's a little bit heated, I think you're bringing a lot of political baggage to that moment. So when those fans react in that way and say, oh, that's a MAGA artist and she's invoking illegal immigration.
I'm not. Yes, I get all of that. Is that
what you think was going on?
I get all of that.
But she doesn't actually get it, and which is why I believe this lawsuit is going nowhere. They're trying to explain it to her. Hey, you do understand, like when you come out and when you endorse Donald Trump and when you're on your social media accounts and your X account endorsing him to the high heavens, you understand the stigma that comes with that, right? You understand, right, Donald Trump being who he is and you being a supporter of him and being known as a cult MAGA member. You understand you trying to perform a song called Illegal, or you even making an offhanded joke about the Mexicans. They're not going to laugh with you or treat it as if it's an innocent joke. They're going to treat it in a context of which you are a supporter of somebody who has put these people in concentration camps. You are a supporter of somebody who have dropped videos and social media posts and images calling these people subhumans. You have given an endorsement of somebody who has literally vilified and demonized these people. So they're not going to take you joking about illegals as an offhanded joke or something innocent. No, they're going to treat it with great suspicion, which is did. But she doesn't understand this at all. Like she says, yeah, but then she rushes to explain why they're wrong when they're not wrong at all, right? This lawsuit is going nowhere because of this exact reason, right? You're bringing more trouble than you're worth. You're not a pop star. You're not a superstar. You don't really have a lot of fans at those shows. They're there for Kid Cudi, and Kid Cudi is allowing you to share his platform, but yet you are committed to bringing noise and bringing troubles. And, you got kicked off the show because of that. But she doesn't understand none of it. Like, she's still making excuses for herself during this interview.
No, that's not what's going on. That is what the media wrote as what's going on.
That was a perception.
That was the perception that was generated and fanned and algorithmized to cement a narrative. Mm-hmm. But the narrative is way more complex than that, because the narrative is that is a brown woman who is an immigrant. And no matter what Americans think about that, they can never remove that.
I think she thinks that being brown or being an immigrant disqualifies her from being a bigot, when that's far from the truth. Bro, we got people of color in this country who are the biggest bigots in the world, right? There are black people, there are Hispanic people, there are Asian people who are tokens for far right and neo-Nazism. So no, you don't get to say, yeah, I'm brown, I'm an immigrant, I can support Trump without being a bigot. You can. All right, but y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? But do y'all feel like she got a good lawsuit against Kid Cudi? Let me know. If you don't think so, let me know. If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out how today was a really bad day for Cassie. She received some really terrible news. I'm gonna see you guys in this Cassie video. Send me a hype below if you really want to support. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.